If you would please stand for the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
I want to thank our Eagle Scouts, Danielle Kunch and Tim Miller, for the presentation of colors, and Elizabeth Snellings and Kelsey Tevick for singing the national anthem. Please give them a round of applause. I'd also like to recognize our band under the direction of Mr. Dorn and Mr. Kasparik, providing the music before the program, as well as the processional and recessional. Appreciate the band and choir making themselves available on a Sunday afternoon. Would you please give them a round of applause? Welcome to Monona Grove High School 2014 commencement. Parents, grandparents, family members, and friends, we appreciate you being with us today to recognize the class of 2014 graduates. We're proud of what these students have accomplished individually and collectively. They work hard to complete graduation requirements and earn their diplomas. They have achieved in the classroom and round out their education with additional experiences in music, theater, athletics, and other co-curricular activities. Students know that high school graduation is not the end of their education. Rather, commencement symbolizes the transition to the next stage of their lives. We're confident that these students are well prepared for the next part of their journey. On behalf of the administration and teachers, I wish all the graduates the very best in their futures. At this time, I'd like to introduce the senior class officers, Kelly Archer, Michelle Zaber, Mackenzie Egan, and Kelsey Dolan.
Welcome, parents, grandparents, family, and friends. Thank you all for being here to celebrate this milestone in our lives. We are your 2014 class officers, and it brings us great pleasure to represent our senior class. It is a large part a result of our great educators from kindergarten onward that we have become who we are today. And we would like to thank each and every teacher for believing in us. One day we were asked to write a speech about our class for graduation, and we reminisced about all the experiences we had together. And to tell the truth, it was hard to narrow down all the memories into one speech, but here we go.
From a young age, we began building bridges between Monona and Cottage Grove. We came together in the 6th grade and our friendships blossomed. At this early stage in our lives, we didn't realize that we would come to miss the little things in life, like recess, snowball fights, and sledding down the hills, easy class projects, and no excessive loads of homework. Our experiences broadened when we all moved to the new middle school and became the first 7th grade class to be Red Hawks. In 8th grade, we all suffered through the Black Box Project and enjoyed our first class trip to DC.
In high school, we gained new friends from St. Denis, IHM, and many other schools. We brought back homecoming and its traditions, we survived the no backpack rule, and we were the guinea pigs for the new science curriculum. Outside of the classroom, we watched our classmates excel in athletics and extracurriculars. Many of our peers competed at the state level. Drama, swimming, DECA, dance team, HOSA, and a state championship from both our boys swim team and our boys football team, just to name a few. We certainly carried school spirit throughout our 4 years and supported each other in these achievements. We all pushed through those late night study sessions, the awkwardness of sophomore health class, and the grueling workload of either AP US History or the dreaded junior project. We worked hard these last 4 years, but we certainly had some fun along the way.
So this is it. It makes us sad to think that today is likely the last time we'll ever be in the same room together. Though not every member of our class, our original class, is here today, it's been a tremendous journey, and we're all going to miss each other in some way. Some of us are going to a 4-year college, some a technical school, continue at our jobs, traveling, and some of us haven't found the path that life is going to take us on yet. I don't know how you're feeling, if you're nervous, ecstatic, sad, still uncertain, but whatever you do, take leaps of faith. We have so much to gain and nothing really to lose. Ignore social pressures and norms and what will make you happy. Otherwise, we might wake up with too many regrets. High school's been great, but we're all going to go on to do bigger and better things with our lives. So we hope that you remember this day when we all achieve something great. For those of you expecting a poem, in life it takes work to succeed. The lessons of life you must heed. We've had lots of fun, yet we've just begun. Class of 14, you must lead. Congrats, MG.
Our teacher speaker today is someone who has impacted most, if not all, of our lives in some way. He has helped us grow as individuals and served as a positive role model in life. I am pleased to present our 10th grade Honors English, American Literature, and cross-country coach, Jeremy Deuce.
Slip this on you. Thank you. Just remember to get it back from you.
All right, no problem. Good afternoon. I want to thank everyone for attending such an important day in the lives of these young men and women. In particular, I would like to thank the class of 2014 for having me speak today. It is truly a tremendous honor, and I am flattered to be here. I've taught in this district for 7 years, and I can say without hesitation that these have been the most rewarding years of my professional life. The students here, and in particular the class of 2014, makes this a great community and a superior school. Again, thank you for asking me to speak on your behalf. Before I begin, I would like to remind the graduating class of a gift that some of them gave me at the end of their sophomore year. Now, many of you have probably forgotten about this, but I have not. The gift was this mug. The class felt this gift represented me as an educator, and I have to agree, because like this mug, I'm difficult to see from a few rows back. So, as you can see, the first side of the mug says, "World's Tallest Gnome." The second side says, "World's Greatest Realist." Today, before you walk out of this building, I hope to fulfill those modest expectations. This is an important day. It is a day to celebrate the accomplishments of your educational career. This isn't only about your senior year. It is a celebration of the journey as a whole. I hope that you found your education in Monona Grove to be positive and worthwhile experience. I hope that you feel prepared for whatever journey it is that you are about to undertake. Today is an important day for you, but maybe not in the way that you anticipated. Yes, it is the culmination of many years of hard work, but this is not the end, not even close. In fact, it is just the opposite. Today is important because it is the first of many new beginnings. When I was asked to speak to this class, I remembered an often overlooked line in the novel The Great Gatsby. F. Scott Fitzgerald wrote, "And so, with the sunshine and great bursts of leaves growing in the trees, I had the familiar conviction that life was beginning over again with the summer." So, as Fitzgerald said, today is the first of many new summers of your life outside of Monona Grove. It is an opportunity to start again, to reinvent yourself, and pursue those dreams that had, until this moment, seemed just outside your reach. Before you accept your diploma and start the process of chasing your dreams, I would like to offer a few thoughts about this first summer of new opportunities. I promise that unlike my lectures about Gatsby, Huck Finn, and the Odyssey, this will not last 94 minutes. Also, I will not mention Okonkwo or the thousand yam references in Things Fall Apart. So many yams. So, a few pieces of advice from a realist. First, as you approach your first new summer outside of Monona Grove, make certain that you work on becoming a better person every single day. Do not let a single day pass without making an effort to improve yourself. It doesn't have to be dramatic or life-altering. It can simply be small progress towards a larger goal. Read a book. Better yet, read a classic. If you're one of my former honor students, maybe pick up the Odyssey and actually read it this time. When possible, volunteer. Spend 15 or 30 minutes a day learning a new language. Travel, even if it is only within your city or state. Get out and see new places. Take up a sport, learn to cook. Just do something, anything to improve yourself every day. There is a room full of people here who wish they were in your shoes and would love the chance to do it all over again. You have that chance starting today. Take advantage of it. Secondly, go out and meet new people. Make connections. Share your knowledge, your personality, and your dreams. Do not isolate yourself from the world. Take chances and build friendships. Join organizations, teams, or clubs. Just get out there and meet people. There's a whole world out there waiting to make a connection with someone like you. Next, when you are confronted by challenges, expected or unexpected, use them as an opportunity to improve yourself. In many cases, these challenges are actually opportunities in disguise. Changing course or moving in an unforeseen direction might be the best thing that ever happens to you. You will gain new experiences, new skills, and a new way of looking at the world. Remember that everyone has been challenged. Every person in this room faces difficulties, both big and small. Hopefully, over the course of your education, you have learned to face these challenges in a constructive and positive manner. Remember that there are people, friends, and family who are here to offer support for you. That does not end when you graduate. Do not be afraid to ask for help when you need it. Don't hesitate to offer help when others are in need. How you face challenges in life and how you help others face adversity may very well define you as a person. Lastly, and perhaps most importantly, do not forget where you came from, the opportunities you had, and the people who helped you along the way. Many of you have taken this opportunity at Monona Grove to be the best student you can be. Now go out and make yourself, your community, and the world a better place. Remember that what is important is not where you started, and maybe not even where you end, but what you do along the way. It's the everyday journeys that will define you as a person. Those day-to-day adventures, big and small, will be your legacy. Make certain that your legacy is a positive one. Once you leave Monona Grove, the world you will face will be nothing like the world of your parents or your teachers. Challenges and obstacles that you may have never considered will take shape. Opportunities will be both tangible and elusive. I believe that the challenges you will face will be unlike those of any previous generation, but I can say with confidence that this class is prepared to face those obstacles. I wanted to deliver a great speech that could encapsulate just how much I think of these graduates. But I have to admit that I struggle to match words for how I feel. I think that I speak for everyone here today when I say that words do not do this class justice. Simply put, I'm proud of this class. Everyone here is proud of you, and we want the best for you. We hope that you chase your dreams and live every day to its fullest. And as for the near future, always remember Fitzgerald's quote, "Life begins again in the summer." Congratulations. Good luck. Have a safe graduation weekend. Congratulations, class of 2014.
Thank you, Mr. Deuce. We'll now have music performed by the Monona Grove Choir under the direction of Miss Lori Herniak and accompanied by Sam Taylor.
High above the chimney tops, that's where
amazing. You can turn a phrase into a weapon or a drug. You can be the outcast or be the backlash to somebody's lack of love. Or you can start speaking up. Nothing's gonna hurt you the way the words do when they settle beneath your skin. Kept on the inside and no sunlight. Sometimes the shadow wins. But I wonder what would happen if you say what you wanna say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I wanna see you be brave with what you wanna say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I wanna see you be brave. Everybody's been there, everybody's been stared down by the enemy. Falling for the fear and those who disappear and bow down to the mighty. Don't run, stop holding your tongue. Maybe there's a way out of the cage where you live. Maybe one of these days you can let the light in. Show me how big your brave is. Say what you wanna say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I wanna see you be brave with what you wanna say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I wanna see you be brave with what you wanna say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I wanna see you be brave with what you wanna say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I wanna see you be brave. I wanna see you be brave.
Thank you, choir, and Ms. Naherniak. This time, Mackenzie Egan will introduce our commencement speaker.
Our speaker today is best known for his 4 years on the Badger men's basketball team from 2004 to 2008. After he graduated from UW-Madison, he went on to play professionally overseas in Germany and the Netherlands. He now currently works as a financial literacy advocate for UBS Financial Services and serves as a volunteer firefighter for the Middleton Fire Department. And, as if he wasn't already accomplished enough, he's also a motivational speaker, a certified rescue scuba diver, a personal basketball trainer, and is the co-founder of Active Kids and Adults, a nonprofit organization aimed at encouraging regular physical activity. It is my honor to introduce to you Mr. Michael Flowers.
Can everyone hear me? Eric, we're good? All right. First and foremost, I just want to thank school board members, the staff and faculty of Monona Grove and Mackenzie for inviting me here to speak before you all today. Truly humbled. As Kenzie mentioned, I played professionally, and this is by far the most pressured situation I've ever been in before. And before I start and get into it, I would like to tell a joke now. My girlfriend does not think that I can make a living being a stand-up comic, so I'll try it out right here. Why does Waldo wear stripes? Because he doesn't want to be spotted. And if you think that was bad, wait till you hear the speech. I can't believe that 10 years ago today, I was sitting where you were sitting. Unfortunately, that was at Madison La Follette. I graduated on the Friday, and I was wide-eyed and eager to take on the world. My mom would tell you that I thought I was an adult since I was 12, and I was ready to prove her right. But it's something about life that always has a way of showing you who's actually in control. I graduated that Friday, and the following Monday, I enrolled at University of Wisconsin-Madison in summer classes. And I would like to share with you all today just some of the experiences that I've had and some of the lessons that I've learned over the last 10 years. And you all sitting in front of me today have the opportunity as graduates to begin as adults, whether that's going to college or whether that's jumping right into the corporate industry. And you can choose to accept the challenges. Some challenges we accept ourselves, and some challenges accept us. And I would like to share with you 3 pillars that will get you to your definition of success and your definition of happiness. And the first pillar that I would like to share is conquering your fear. And the reason why I believe that's important is because being human beings, our brain, the way our brain works is we have certain default settings. And one of those default settings is being averse to fear or change. And that probably goes back to our caveman ancestors who, if they heard a rustle in the bush, they didn't go over and discover what caused that rustling, because if they did, they were probably eaten by a saber-toothed tiger. And so that fear keeps us from change. As Mr. Doss was saying, you want to start small, but even starting small can be such a huge leap. And fear, conquering your fear is important because I believe that it is the greatest disability of them all. Fear will paralyze you mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually if you let it. The fear of unpredictability and unknown is the greatest fear of them all, and I would like to share with you a story of how I overcame a fear of my own. And it wasn't until I took a trip to Miami and my friends planned a jet ski tour and invited me along with them. And I've never been afraid of anything, so I thought, but I was afraid of deep, dark water. And on this jet ski tour, I couldn't ride or operate my own jet ski. I had to hop on the back of a jet ski of a friend of mine, and we went 10 miles an hour the whole entire tour. And I didn't like that. You know, my friends ridiculed me being a professional basketball player, professional athlete, whatever you want to label me. But being afraid of water was something that didn't sit well with me. So what I did at that moment was I thought to myself, how can I overcome this fear? How can I conquer this fear? And so the scariest thing that I thought I could do was actually dive underwater at nighttime. And so I enrolled in a scuba diving class. And on the trip out to Hawaii, I found a diving shop that offered this class, a night diving class. And so I signed up for it. And that night was the most incredible night of my entire life. We got on a boat and we went offshore, about a mile or two offshore. And as we're descending, let me start. Diving at night, the visibility is 0. You could literally close your eyes and open your eyes, and there would be absolutely no difference. And so what they do is they attach a high-powered flashlight to your wrist. And depending on the wattage of the flashlight, that's how far your visibility is. My flashlight gave me about 25 feet to 30 feet of visibility at night, and I could only see where I shone the flashlight. And so as we were descending, down, I'm panicking, just breathing heavily and thinking I'm going to get eaten by a shark or just never come up to the surface for air. And as we're descending, within 3 minutes of our descent, I'm looking around, I'm searching, I'm scared, and I see a reflection. And so I stop. Oh, wait a second. I see it again. I wait another second. And I make a small circle. And believe you me, there was a shark. The most frightening moment of my life was that right there. Nothing happened, thankfully. But if I didn't make the decision to conquer my fear of dark water, I would have never had that experience, and I would have never been able to tell my grandchildren when they come to me with a problem that they're facing and tell them this story and how they can conquer their fear and overcome. The second pillar that I would like to share with you is kind of redundant. I'm pretty sure your parents, your uncles, your aunts, your relatives have all told you, and your teachers have all told you to be yourself. And it's very important to be yourself, because if you allow the media, if you allow anyone outside of who you are influence your decision and your behavior, you will never reach your level or your definition of success and your definition of happiness. But it's hard. And I come to you with a story that's not my own, but it very well could be. To say I'm overly competitive in the game of Monopoly is an understatement, to the point where my family will not participate or take any invite to play with me. But I was up late at night on YouTube. Yes, I was up late at night on YouTube learning how to be better at Monopoly. When I came across this video, and this video had a deeper message behind it, and it struck me, and I would like to share it with you all today. And the guy in the video, his message was, he would always play his grandmother. Every summer, they would go up north to the cabin, and he would play his grandmother in a friendly game of Monopoly. And every time, she would defeat him. He didn't understand it, he couldn't figure it out, but she would always win despite his efforts. And one summer, he thought to himself, well, next year, it'll be different. Next year, I'm going to defeat her. And so he spent that following fall, winter, and spring preparing for that summer moment. And when that moment came, he was ready. He was ready to defeat her financially, emotionally, psychologically. He was ready to defeat her. And when that moment came, when he was victorious, in his moment of triumph, his grandmother had another message to tell him, that it all goes back into the box. The railroads, the utilities, the properties, the hotels, the houses, it all goes back into the box. See, it was never really his to begin with. Players come, players go. And that's the metaphor for life. And so at the end, when you sacrifice your friends for that promotion you've been working for, when you sacrifice your health and your time to climb that corporate ladder, you have to ask yourself at the end of it, was it really worth it? Material possessions should not be something that you identify yourself with as being successful. We all have smartphones. Why should a phone indicate whether we're intelligent or not? Because believe you me, myself included, I know a lot of people with smartphones who are intellectually challenged. And that brings me to my third pillar, which I believe is probably the most important pillar of them all, and that's taking action. Success isn't for the select few. Success isn't for the people with a special talent or a special skill or special anything. Everyone has the potential and the ability to reach their definition of happiness and their definition of success. And I know I sit before you today as graduates of high school, but I'm here to help you understand that knowledge isn't the power. Knowledge is a tool that is used to create something physical in the real universe. And I know that most of you today are thinking about taking action. And most of you are saying that when college starts, I'm going to be a better student. Or if this person forgives me, I'll be a better friend. Or what have you. But if you say, I'll take action tomorrow, I'll tell you what. Tomorrow is something that never comes. Because tomorrow turns into today, and there is always another tomorrow. So instead, start today. You don't become a better student the first day of class, you become a better student right now. You don't become a better friend, a father, a parent tomorrow, you become a better friend, father, parent today. Start with what you have today, because what you have is plenty. And start with where you're at today, because where you're at is the beginning. But what keeps people from taking action? And it's fear. That's why conquering fear is important as well. And I would like to share with you a story where I was at a crossroads while I was overseas playing basketball. And there was this passion that grew inside of me while I was overseas. And this passion grew because of my upbringing. I come from a family that struggled early on. I come from a family that didn't have a meal to eat every night. I come from a family that my mother had to starve just to feed her children. I come from a family having lived on the streets and being homeless. And so while I was overseas, I asked myself that question, what really matters? Yes, I could play basketball for another 10 or 15 years and retire and have the fame that comes with it, or I can make a difference. So I decided then and there to retire early from basketball, to jump into an industry that I didn't know anything about, or I didn't know a soul that could help me accomplish and reach my dreams. So I come back to Madison with this challenge of making a difference, but didn't know how. And it was hard. I wanted to jump into the financial industry, but someone like me, a former basketball player, with no business major, not an accountant, no one in the business to bring along and help mentor. No one wanted to hire me. I applied for jobs, I filled out applications, I applied for jobs, I filled out for applications for about 2 years, still no success. So what I did was I researched where I could work that will put me in the best situation to reach my dream. I researched and I found the Fluno Center. And the Fluno Center is a hotel and convention center downtown for business executives, which means that I wanted to be a front desk liaison so I can greet the speakers and the corporate executives, the CEOs, the CFOs, the COOs, and spend about 10 seconds getting to know them and telling my story in hopes that one day it would lead to something bigger. And one day it did. About 4 months into this job, a man came to me. I checked him into his hotel, and before he could turn around and walk away, I asked him what he was passionate about. He spent the next 5 to 10 minutes explaining to me what he was passionate about, and then he reciprocated the question to me. And I told him, I'm passionate about financial literacy. I come from a background, I come from a family that didn't have the necessary means that my friends had and my relatives had. And we kept in contact. I kept working at the Fluno Center. About 4 years later, he calls me. He says, Michael, I want to introduce you to an individual that's looking to hire someone as passionate as you are. And from that day, I've been working in wealth management, and I couldn't be happier. And I know what you're thinking. You were probably thinking that I would talk about basketball. I would talk about hitting game-winning shots or playing overseas or any experience that I've had. But I will tell you that there's a difference between the American dream and your dream. And just because your dreams and your definition of success and happiness is not aligned with the American dream of having the big cars, or having the big houses, having the fanciest cars, the clothes, the jewelry, and whatnot, doesn't mean that it's inferior. And as I would like to reiterate, that you don't need a special skill or talent to be successful, to reach your definition of success and happiness. And as a class of 2014, as you go into the next chapter of your lives, whatever that may be, use these 3 pillars to carry you and support you. Conquering your fears, being true to yourself, asking yourself what really matters, and going after it. And lastly, taking actions. Because I believe that if you follow those pillars, you will be happy and you will be successful beyond any material possessions that you can buy. So I want to thank you and congratulations to the graduating class of 2014. God luck and good bless.
Thank you, Michael. We greatly appreciate you taking the time to be with us today. Parents, as we present diplomas, if you come forward to take pictures, we'd ask that you please stand off to the side behind roped areas on either side and just check that you're not blocking the view of someone else who's here. A reminder that professional pictures will be taken up here for the graduates as they receive their diplomas. Also, if you do move around and take pictures, please be aware there are some cables on the floor in certain areas. Members of the Board of Education, I confirm that these students have met the graduation requirements of Monona Grove High School as set forth by board policy, and now present the graduates of the class of 2014 to receive their diplomas. Would the first row of students please stand and move to the ends of the stage to receive their diplomas? Would staff members who are assisting students in handing out flowers please come to the front? Callie Archer, Michelle Zaber. Mackenzie Egan, Kelsey Dolan.
Daniel Kunch, Timothy Miller. Michael Aguilar, Isaac Allen. Bailey Anderson, Valerie Anderson. Caitlin Andrews, Katie Arahu, Sierra. Logan Arndt, Preston Arndt. Brianna Arnold Ewing, Alexa Ashland. Lauren Ori, Anusha Baladi. Garrett Baldwin, Alec Balwig. Julia Banchik-Lesniak, Kevin Bannigan. Mason Bodwin, Todd Bauer. William Beatty, Skylar Beckwith. Jordan Benson, Mitchell Bernardi. Alexander Blakely, Tyler Blang. Morgan Bone, Samantha Brixon. Devin Brockman, Carl Broski, Thomas Brown, Eli Buffett,
Nicholas Berger, Joshua Butteris. Daniel Button, Ethan Carlson. Bianca Carano, Mackenzie Clary. Brett Cliff, Jennifer Collins. Austin Coppernell, Noah Cotter. McKenna Crossan, Colton Darwin. Jacob Decora, Paige Deals. Robert Dish. Madison Dyson, Bailey Eberhardt. Chastity Air, Dylan Elmer. Walter Elmore, Jalen Ennin. Maxwell Etheridge, Samantha Ewert. Carissa Ferguson, Nicholas Finken. Brianna Finputz, Alyssa Fiskus. Casey Fitzgibbon, Kai Fraser Vaughn. Alexander Grady, Emily Gates. Jaden Galt, Shanna Geishert. Ryan Gonterick, Audria Goodyear.
Jacob Graffin, Thomas Grab. Matthew Grossholds, Jamie Gamond. Madeline Gullickson, Dexter Guyette. Claire Hacker, Gregory Halstead. Haley Halverson, Lindsay Hamada. Mackenzie Hamer, Carly Hansen, Callahan Hardin, Danielle Harris, David Harvey, Megan Hawk, Desmond Hawkins, John Heggie, Kaylee Hyman, Emily Henderson, Nathan Hepp, Joshua Hermsdorf, Michelle Hicklin, Pauline Hill, Nicholas Horstman, Michelle Hoffbauer, Audrey Hopkins, Gabrielle Horstmeyer, Kylie Hall, Elijah Eisenberger, Samuel Jenkins, Michael Jensen, Travis Johnston, Zachary Johnston, Chase Johnson, Jacob Carnes.
Alexa Kelsey, Hannah Kerwin. Donovan Kilgallen, Spencer Cossack. Jesse Kruska, Alexander Kufel. Carolyn Labuda, Lydia Lawler. Samuel LaMarche, Dirk Last. Nicholas Lauersdorf, Margaret Lawton. Christopher Leidy, James Lenberg. Cecily Linsenmeyer, Brock Lippiett. Sawyer Livesey, Caitlin Long. Abigail Lewis, Clayton Luther. Luke Molly, Brooke Martin. Liam McCarty Dick, Alexander McCarville. Ryan McConnell, Sean McCoskey. Alexander McDade, Joseph Meehan. Marcus Millen, Dennis Milos. Jessica Mitchell, Catherine Molstad. Elizabeth Montgomery, Shelby Mueller. Ryan Mulcahy, John Mulhern.
Haley Nagerson, Amanda Nelson. Mark Nelson, Taylor Nelson. Cameron Newhauser, Kendra Newhauser. Brock Offerdahl, Ian Ortiz Cartagena. Jessica Pashon, Tess Palmer. Dana Payas, Jack Pfefferkorn. Emily Pospical, Elena Quant. Sierra Reed, Caitlin Remus. Nicholas Rice, Kayla Richter.
Joseph Riederer, Antonia Rivera. Isaac Robertson, Jennifer Lori Roman. Molly Romanak, Weston Romwald. Andrew Sackett, Allison Sarbacher. Connor Sock, Hannah Schlumberger. Kelvin Schomer, Jacob Schukart. Leslie Schultz, Amaro Serrano, Katri Aguango. Michael Shanahan, Elizabeth Shaver Milan. Kata Sigelko, Jacob Slindy.
George Smith, Elizabeth Snellings. Alejandro Sosa Hernandez, Aspen Spanum. Blake's daughter, Joshua Schwanton. Anna Swearingen, Jacob Taylor. Kelsey Tevick, Amy Tao. Aaron Thomas, Jalen Thomas. Kaylee Tipton, Austin Tomjack. Nicholas Tan, Amy True. Leilani Varisi Volker, Claire Vavris.
Hunter Vinji, Kristen Volker. Montrell Wadsworth, Brianna Wagner. Catherine Walters, Tristan Weber. Kasia Wiegelster, Nicholas Weitzel Baker. Robert Winky, Kyle Winky. Curtis Woline, Kenton Wu. Megan Zelmer, Derek Zenger. Nicole Zinkel.
You guys were on your seats, yes. Nice job. Hey, you have a phone? Mr. Stassi, would you open up that gate right behind you there, please, for the recessional? Parents and honored guests, I present to you the class of 2014.